All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Speak to the Beak. I am Tim the Ferds, joined by Joe Wilson. We are coming at you July 22nd, the day after the NHL expansion draft. So, Joe, what did you think of Marshawn Lynch not even trying to pronounce the first overall pick's name? How'd you feel
That
about
was
that?
the funniest thing. I can't believe you opened with that. I didn't expect that at all. But I literally took a video of it on my phone. I was like, this is gonna be the funniest thing. Marshawn needs to get involved with the league way more. That was so funny.
My boy, Callie.
He was obviously so high too during it. He had like no idea what he was reading at all. It was so funny.
It was pretty good. If you didn't see it, I saw like Sportsnet posted it. I'm sure it's on ESPN. It's Callie Yarncrows, and he's just like, he looks at his last name and he's just like, nah, I ain't gonna attempt it. He's like, we're taking Callie. Close enough. Everyone knows who it
Like,
is.
yeah, the boy Cali.
So that
That
was
was
pretty
so
funny. That was a good way to start it off. And obviously, me and Joe are going to talk more about the expansion draft. We had some trades today. That's why we waited a day to kind of see what would happen. A couple of guys re signed. So we got some things to talk about. And before we do that, usual stuff. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, whatevs. I just started our NFL coverage. So if you're an NFL guy, you got that incoming. Me and Keith still out here doing baseball, so like plenty of podcast content. If you're a strict listener, no viewership on YouTube there. Make sure you rate and review on Apple, Spotify, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out the website, beakbrands.com. Written content is there, as well as our podcast. Our 32 and 32 series kicks off next week in about 4 days for the NFL. So get hyped for that. And then obviously follow at Beak Brands on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right. So with that being said, Joe, I know you're ready because I've seen you the past 2 days, so we've been waiting for the expansion draft for a while. So why don't we start with what was your favorite pick or a pick that you really liked that Seattle made? Or
funny.
yeah, let's start with that. Let's start with that.
I got two of them that I liked. From the first one, the one that I liked the most, I'd say, was taking Vince Dunn from St. Louis Blues. Real solid offensive defenseman, but the issue for Seattle is their defensive core is quite packed, so I don't even know if he's going to crack the top four for them. But if he does, I think that'd be a huge piece because I've heard rumors that they might trade him, but that'd kind of suck if they did because I think he's a stud. Also, Brandon Tanev from the Penguins. Yeah, that's a solid pickup for them, honestly. He played really well in the playoffs, and then I'm surprised Pittsburgh left him unprotected and protected Jeff Carter over him with just 1 year remaining on his contract.
And if you haven't seen Tanev's profile pic there, his player pic, it is
The best in the league.
it's a sight to see. It's definitely not your general player pick that you would normally see. So definitely check that out. Um, Listen, it like Joe mentioned, protected players. If you're like a hockey noob and you're like, what do you mean? They have to protect a certain amount of players, which means a certain amount of players were unprotected. There were other rules that go along with it, like if you had under a certain time of league experience, quote unquote, you were automatically protected no matter what. So some teams decide to leave veterans out there. Some guys left like high priced good players to see if they clear some cap space. Um, Obviously, Joe went with two not super high names if you're not a hardcore fan. My favorite pick, or well, I have a couple, but like Joe, it's probably either Adam Larson or Yanni Gord. Larson, I really liked. I'm not sure why Edmonton left this guy unprotected. They have no defenseman as it is, and now he's gone on top of it. Really solid player. The reason I like Yanni Gord, though, for them is a few reasons. One, obviously, he's got playoff experience coming over from Tampa. He's a two-way player. He can be gritty. He's got some skill. He's got some finesse. Like, he offers a little bit of everything. And I think for a team, obviously, like Seattle, that is literally building from nothing, those are guys, like versatile players, that you want on your team. What do you think about that, Joe?
I agree with that. I didn't say the Yanni Gord one because I just felt like anyone from Tampa is kind of like one of the answers
No,
that could have
I
been.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
I just try to choose around that, but yeah, I definitely agree. I was surprised, honestly. I thought Palat or Killorn might have went, but yeah, I think he's solid.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they could have taken literally any of the forwards Tampa left unprotected, and it would have been the steal. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's how good Tampa is, that they're leaving 3 guys out there that on any other team, they'd basically be an auto protect, like, immediately. So,
yeah,
Tampa's loaded from top to bottom. What was a pick that Seattle made, and you looked at it and you were like, what are you doing?
yeah. So I actually had one while I was watching it. I like as you told me, take notes, like mental notes as
Yeah.
you're watching it. This is the one because I was prepared for this question. Gavin Bayreuther from the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's played 28 games in the NHL, and last season, it honestly 9 games, a goal and 4 assists. That's not horrible, but like, there just had to be better options from that team that with real NHL experience. But yeah, that one just kind of frustrated me.
They did that a couple of times where they took guys, and it's just like,
Why?
who is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Oh, like a lot too. Like it happened like pretty frequently.
I know. I was very confused.
Flyers pick, the Devils pick.
The
Uh,
guy, the guy it was for me is Curtis McDermott. And if you don't know who that is, I had to look him up too because I didn't really know who he was. Now he has a little more NHL experience than the guy Joe just brought up. He's played 118 NHL games, but his kind of claim to fame is that he has 151 penalty minutes in those
oh,
118 NHL games.
all
Uh,
right.
Basic, but I don't even know if he's gonna play because he's a
I
defenseman
think
and their defense core is really good. So like you took this guy,
I didn't know he was a defenseman when you said that.
yeah, that's exactly. So I mean, at best, he's like your seventh defenseman. You took a guy who's gonna be a healthy scratch every game, is what you
Yeah,
did.
that's not good.
And what else could the other thing that gets me with that pick is like, all right, he's like a goon. He's out there to fight the other team and like protect your, I guess, like super high prize guy, which you don't really have. But
Jordan.
yeah, you know what I mean. But like, dude, you can just pick up any goon off the street and throw him out there to beat the crap out of people. Why are you drafting one in the
Yeah,
expansion draft?
that's a waste of a pick right there. I agree.
Yeah, they really threw me off with that one. As soon as I saw that, I said, "Wow, I don't know who that is." Number one, and
Once you said defenseman, I was just that's horrible.
yeah, that's what I mean. And obviously, I think you would agree. Their defense core is like definitely the best part of their team right now.
Good. It's real good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, they went heavy on defense. Me and Joe both didn't bring up Giordano from Calgary. And I was texting Joe last night. It's almost like if you're the captain of a team, like you're cursed. You have like a 2-year clock on you because you're going to be traded, released, or something's going to happen to you. It's like the only sport out there where it's like, oh, congratulations, you're the captain. Like you will be traded in 2 years, guaranteed. It's like very, very strange.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot lately. I don't really know why. It's weird to see, but whatevs.
Yeah, it's becoming more of a trend there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how they built their team, though. All right, so let's go two things. One, you kind of mentioned it already. They were quote unquote like building for the future. Why don't you hit on that? And then after that, why didn't they make any trades like precursor? So why don't you go into their team building philosophy first, and then kind of bring up their approach and how it was different from Vegas?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, their team approach, as we said, heavily loaded up on solid defenders, as we noticed, like Adam Larson, Mark Giordano, Vince Dunn, Jamie Oleksiak, Carson Soucy, just all really solid defensive players, like top 2, top 4 guys on most teams. And then obviously they went the cheap route with their goaltenders, but they still got two that I know. I know Dragers was solid last season. Vanacek was real good last season. Joey Decourt, I don't really know that much about him, but I'm sure like for a third string can't be too bad. So they got two cheap goalies, both like did Dreiger get a new contract?
He
Yeah,
did,
right.
yes.
Yes, but Vanacek only making like 750K a year. That's a steal. So I think they really loaded up on their defense goalie part. Like they really focused on that more. and their offensive players. I think they're gonna have to do something about that because I don't think they're gonna be too good with that forward group because sure their defense is really good, but you still need to put up some goals, and their forwards are not looking like they can score more than like 2 goals a game, to be honest.
And I'm pretty sure
And
they just traded Pitlick to Calgary.
Just now?
Like a couple of minutes ago, yeah. Pretty sure I just saw that.
Pretty sure that was one of the expected ones I was waiting to happen.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, so I think they didn't make any moves. We'll go into that because they selected forwards that are in like some defensemen that are really young, unproven. So I think that they might take a year or two to try to develop them. And this year, like there's some big names in the free agency, some big names that are in the trade bubble. But in comparison to other years, I'd say it's a real weak unrestricted free agent class, and they have 25 mil in cap space. So maybe they're gonna wait and see how it works, and then if it's not, then they can go out and sign some more big players, make some more big trades. But yeah, I think it was really strange that no trades during the draft. Like Vegas made it, I feel, a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really stood out with Vegas was like they were taking people's picks to be like, oh yeah, don't take this guy. Like they just hoarded draft picks. Yeah. They were like, give me all the picks, like, and it worked. And then you had teams like Pittsburgh that were like, yo, we'll give you a second to take Marc-Andre Fleury. That backfired in their face. That was stupid. Yeah, look,
Matt Murray is working real well for that team.
It's a joke because now they have Jari instead. Hey,
he sucks more.
I know. No, I mean, I don't really know why they didn't make a trade. Like, if I was Seattle, I would have just copied exactly what Vegas did. Like, just give me all your draft picks.
Literally could have done the same exact thing. Could have taken some more bigger name players, like maybe sell some more jerseys. Like, like get the franchise going a little bit. Get some, like, names that people want to see. And then, like, could have actually been favorites to win, like, a cup in a few years. But I don't know. We'll see how this works for them.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like their uniforms though.
I don't mind them either. I agree, they're pretty solid. But I was on Instagram earlier and I saw this comment, and I think the logo is like too big. Like I saw that and I like re-looked at it and I was like, I actually agree. If it was like literally just a little bit smaller, they'd be way better. I like the away jerseys though a lot more than home.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about. The away jerseys are fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan of the away jerseys.
Yeah.
But look, as far as like their team building philosophy, I guess I get it. You want like a young team, you can develop them and kind of go for like an extended run. But like some of those picks that me and you brought up already, they left guys out there that like they literally drafted guys that are just going to be passed on to the AHL and sit there.
Yeah.
I don't really get that.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Those players and like some teams, like I just feel like they shouldn't have taken no-name players and should actually just take like the Flyers. Like I don't get why they didn't take Voracek and they took Carson Tornosky. Like what is that, dude?
They had a choice. Philadelphia left a couple of guys out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like Carson Tornosky. Like what is that? Who is that?
I don't know. I really don't know. And before we get to some other,
no points.
Before we get to some other trades, because I know you brought up Philadelphia. Hold on, I know we're gonna get there. The big thing the last thing for the expansion draft. Why do you think they didn't take Carey Price?
I just think that's too much money and a lot years left. Like I felt like taking Carey Price was more just like a thing that like people wanted to happen just because it would have been interesting. Like it would have just made like social media like crazy. Like Habs fans would have been all over the place, like losing their minds. But like in reality, he's a really expensive goalie. He's signed for a while longer. He's older now. He's dealt with injury issues pretty much every year except this one maybe. So honestly, I think the 3 cheap goalies when they're all young and 2 of them just had like solid seasons. I don't think you could go wrong for those selections.
All right, so here's a question based off of that question. They ended up with Cale Fleury from Montreal. That's who they ended up taking, who's not going to play.
Not good.
Do you think that they could have swapped that and taken Carey Price from Montreal and then just taking some random scrub from Ottawa?
But I like you didn't. The scrub from Ottawa is not going to see the ice. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like he's
neither
going
is
to
the
be.
scrub from Montreal, so I mean,
Yeah, but like it's money wise. Like they have 25 million open in cap. Carey Price, like what the most expensive goalie in the league. I just don't think it would have been a smart decision. Like sure you sign this, you get the guy from the Senators who hasn't played that much, but at least he's young. He's still something to develop into, and he doesn't cost anything really.
I don't know. I think just for me, I need to have like one veteran goalie that I know, like for a 100% fact, is going to be really good.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like, like Dreyer took the net from Bobrovsky in Florida, like, and then Bobrovsky got it back, whatever, and then, but yeah, can you count on him? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think that's why they also got Vanacek too, because when Lundqvist went down, like he's a rookie, he stepped up and honestly played pretty much almost better than Samsonov did when he was healthy, in my opinion. So I think Vanacek is honestly a steal at 750K a year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I
Real
don't know.
good.
I think I would have been really tempted to take Carey Price.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a thought in my head for a really long time. Like
Yeah.
especially when you hear about that, like I don't get how you don't think about it for a while, but
Yeah, it's
there
crazy they
was a
even left him unprotected to begin
and there
with.
was a lot of goalies too that were like other goalies that like have experience, like Braden Holtby, even though he kind of sucks now, but like yeah, just like other goalies that were there. Jonathan Quick, old washed, like no one wants him, but like it was just cool to see like a wide variety of keepers that they could choose from.
Yeah, I mean, I think I get it. Like they went for the future road, so like Carey Price doesn't make any sense for them. But I mean, this guy just took Montreal on his literal back to the Stanley Cup. I
Yeah.
mean, how could you say no to that?
Yeah.
Like what I would have done is, you know, that
If they
picture that you sent me with Vasilevsky and Price next to each other. If I was Seattle,
yeah.
I would have taken a tape measure to see how wide Carey Price's back is to see how much of the team we could fit on it. Like I don't know. I would. That's what I would have considered doing. Um, but enough about Seattle. That was like 20 minutes of Seattle Kraken talk, and they never even touched the ice. So let's. Some guys re-signed, and there was some trades. So let's go first. The first news that kind of came out: Taylor Hall re-signed with Boston. Do you think that takes them out of the Tarasenko sweepstakes there, and do you think it's a good
Yeah.
fit for him to stay there?
Yeah, I think it definitely does take them out of the Tarasenko. Wait, did he actually get signed? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think it was 4 years, 24 million. I want to say. We can double check it.
I heard there were definitely rumors. I just didn't know it actually happened.
Yeah, it happened like not too long ago. Where is it?
I don't think it's happened.
Reportedly finalizing 4 year, $24 million contract 2 hours ago.
Uh,
All right, so it's
all right.
about to happen. Whatever, not the point.
Yeah, all right. If they do that, that's honestly a sick deal. Is that 6 months?
Yeah, 6 a year. Yeah.
Fired for Taylor Hall. He's a stud. But yeah, that definitely means that they're out on Tarasenko, in my opinion. Like if he was going, then I think they actually would have gotten Tarasenko just because they saw how like much better they were when they had another like talent like player with that caliber of talent and skill that could score. So like it makes sense that they re-sign Hall, and I'm surprised that he took like that cheap of a price, honestly.
Yeah, and listen, obviously we saw it. Hall played really, really well last season for Boston once he got moved there. So I think it was a no-brainer for them to keep him. Like,
Yeah,
absolute no-brainer.
I think he's just got to pick up the defensive part of his game, and then it'll be real solid for that team. But I think they'll coach him and do that. Like Patrice is insane at the two-way game. I feel like Brad plays it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, they have guys that play both ways. I mean, he'll get in there, but he didn't really play that many games with them. I mean, it was, what,
Yeah,
half a season, not even. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a big pickup for them. But let's talk about a goalie trade, which happened while we were at work before. I didn't see it coming. I don't think anyone saw it coming. And I saw Detroit out here, like, throwing shade immediately after, saying, like, you got to ask them why they felt comfortable doing that trade. So, like, they know that they fleeced him.
Yeah.
So
Stevie White again.
I know I'm gonna butcher his name. Alex Nedeljkvoic, not too bad.
That was pretty
That
good
was
then.
pretty good. Traded from the Hurricanes to Detroit for Jonathan Bernier and like a third round pick. He just led the league in save percentage and goals against average in 44. Excuse me, in 23 games started, he only allowed 44 goals. He led the league in a couple other stats, which is goals allowed percentage and adjusted goals against average, which is like an analytical stat, I believe. So how does a young goalie who just led the league in basically most major goalie statistics? I mean, obviously he didn't start the whole year, only 20 something games. How does he get traded for 32-year-old Jonathan Bernier, who I know is mediocre and a third round pick?
And Jonathan Bernier is also an unrestricted free
Free
agent.
agent, yes.
To be honest, I have no idea. Like I heard that he wanted 3.5 from Carolina and they didn't want to give it to him, but then he just signed a $3 million deal with the Red Wings. So like, I don't know why they didn't come to terms on that over there in Carolina. Where I honestly have zero idea how that works or makes sense at all. Really, just I think a poor decision on Carolina's part.
You could have a stud young goalie for
Rookie
3.5 million,
rookie goalie.
and you give him away for free.
Yeah. That, I really wish I knew. Like Stevie Y does it again. I don't get how he pulls this shit off. It's actually crazy.
It is crazy, and good for Detroit because honestly they need it. Now I don't feel bad for them because they made the playoffs for 9 million straight seasons, but like they're pretty terrible right now. So they could use a goalie that they could really really count on, and I think Nedeljkovic, I messed it up the second time, could be that guy for them. So
I'm reading.
Yeah, what do you
I'm
got?
reading right now, quick on that. Apparently Carolina, the max they would offer him was 1.5 a year. Is what I'm reading online.
What?
And I'm like looking through comments on Instagram. It's like Carolina fans on suicide watch right now, and every single fan like replied like, "Yes, yes, we are." Like everyone, like even Carolina fans are just so like, why? It doesn't make sense.
There's always once a year in every sport there's a trade like that, and you got to feel for that team's fans, where when they all know like, what are you doing? We don't even.
Like, there's got to be a press conference. They need to release a statement about that, like just for like anything. They like, come on.
Whatever. This was like last year when the Texans gave away DeAndre Hopkins for free.
Yeah,
that was insanity too. But I know I'm getting into football mode. We're not just there. We're not there yet. So a couple more moves that kind of happened. Islanders want Suter and Parise. I know me and you both want Suter. Parise might be washed, but he's got to be better than your boy Leo Komarov. So where do you stand on that?
Yeah, like you said, we both definitely want Suter. We definitely need another defenseman since Letty's gone. So that honestly would be huge. Another veteran who knows how to play the game real well, who's been a stud for many years and still knows how to assist and possibly score from the blue line. So that's always good. But yeah, Zach Parise, old, played pretty bad last season. Definitely washed, but if you can get him for the right price, like if he's real cheap, like then I definitely would say to go for him because he is definitely better than Leo.
I know your love for Leo Komarov is unmatched.
I don't mind. Like he didn't play that bad in the playoffs.
He's just a guy. That's why you don't like him.
Yeah, it's like he put up like I'm pretty sure he led the team in hits like most of the games of the playoffs. Like he's just a gritty player, but like just can't be first line player in the playoffs. No. That's not how you're gonna win the cup. It's not.
No, it's not. I've been saying that for quite some time, but here we are. You kind of brought up something interesting yesterday, though. We got two more things left here before we hop out. You'd think the Rangers might be up to something big. They did make a move today, so why don't you go into the move they made today, and then what's the Joe conspiracy theory here?
Well, wait, what moved? Oh, the move about Barclay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they signed Barclay Goodrow to a 6-year, 3.6 average mil per year. Got bad contract, too long. He's gonna get bought out halfway through it, which honestly, Ranger fans might be fine with, but like it was like why 6 years? That's way too long for a fourth liner who's bad decision on my part. Money wise, all right, maybe a slight overpay, but like again, everyone thinks he's sick. Like he just won like cups with Tampa. Like he was on Tampa Bay. Like I don't think people are understanding. When he was on the Sharks, what did you hear about Barclay Goodrow? Nothing much, nothing really at all. And he wasn't worth 3.6 on San Jose, so why is he worth 3.6 on the Rangers? Doesn't make sense, but congrats to him and his agent for collecting a cup bag. But but yeah, I'm hearing a bunch from like buddies and sources online that Kraken are trying to trade Giordano to the Rangers for Ryan Strome, because that makes sense too, because Ryan Strome's good, because they have a lack of depth at center, the center position. So I'm hearing that if they get rid of Strome, that opens up more cap, assuming Seattle maintains part of Giordano's salary, and then I'm hearing that they're going to try to make a move for Eichel, which would include like Buchnevich. Obviously, they've been trying to move him forever. Philip Hedl, I'm pretty sure he would be in it, and like obviously bunch of picks and maybe a prospect, but I don't know. That's just what I'm hearing. The Rangers are moving real sneaky, trying to get Jack Eichel, and I'd hate that. I would really hate that bunch.
So when you say you hear it, you mean someone does the dirty work for you and you read about it online, or like someone is actually telling you? Because if this is true, that someone's actually telling you this, I need to know as the host of this podcast.
Both. I've read like part of it online, and then like just a few of my boys who are big Ranger fans have been like chirping some things in my ears.
All right, but you don't have like the Adam Schefter of hockey telling you what's going down.
Not at all, no.
No, that would be a big plug for Beak Brands here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's a possibility, because the Rangers wanted Eichel for like the last 6 months, and they need someone. They need another scorer. Like Panarin and Tibb can't do it all.
No. Well, some games they can if they're playing against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
As you well know.
Don't remind me about that.
Last thing, I know we're New York based here, so we're going to go back to the Islanders real quick. How do you think Lou convinced the Coyotes to take Andrew Ladd's contract?
No idea, but that's I feel like that's such an Arizona Coyote move, just to grab Andrew Ladd for picks, just to keep him there. Because don't they have like already so many other players that they are still paying that aren't playing?
I believe so, but I believe they now have 7 additional second-round picks in the next like 2 seasons.
That's cool. That's cool for them for sure. That is good for them, but they're really not in a spot to do anything. Like, yeah, they definitely are rebuilding. Those picks help, but like, they're still very, very far away from anything.
Yeah, they are. And if you're not like a diehard hockey fan, you're like a poverty franchise. Yeah, they're basically the Pittsburgh Pirates of hockey. Like every team just treats them as their AAA affiliate, and they're like, yeah, we'll just take advantage of you, and you give us something nice. And they're like, we would love to do that. It's been going on for quite some time, actually.
Yeah, like they were decent when they had like Shane Doan. Like the Pirates were decent when they had like Andrew McCutcheon
in his
both
prime. Yeah.
It's like, that's what happens.
Crazy stuff. Look, that's kind of what we got for today. Before I tease what's coming in the future here, obviously same things. We'll go through them real quick. 1, check out the website, beakbrands.com. Written content is there. Podcast is there. Number 2, follow at Beak Brands, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Number 3 would be, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, hit a guy up, whatever. And then obviously number 4, if you're a Spotify, Apple Podcast listener, definitely rate, review, subscribe, follow, etc. on there. And, listen, me and Joe out here, we don't know if it's us or me and Keith, but we now have 1 loyal female listener. All right? So that's probably by mistake. But, if you're listening right now, shout out. Big props to you. It's
Way to
big.
be.
You love to
Send
see
it
it.
to someone you know in Canada so we have more viewers.
Yeah, yeah, that too. So here's kind of what we got for the off season. Me and Joe are gonna play it by ear and see if anything massive happens in the next like 7 to 10 days for like the beginning, because we know we have like free agencies coming up, and you know there always could be trades because there's gonna be a lot of movement. You know, I think going on. But after that, we're gonna break for the off season, and we are going to reconvene at the start of next season, a little bit beforehand, obviously, give you previews and whatnot. You know, we're here for that. But a little bit of a summer break, if you will. So listen, if you're a loyal listener, and we have some repetitive listeners as always, and you think me and Joe should make an adjustment or you like something we do, we will take your positive feedback as well as your constructive criticism, and because we want the people that listen to enjoy what we're doing out here. We try to make it as if it's, you know, me and Joe just having a conversation at work, and it's kind of accurate to that, just with a lot less curse words. Because, you know, when we're at work, you know, little kids around sometimes can't be doing that. So we try to make it as friendly as possible for you. But if you want something talked about, or you have a team, like I said, you know, let's say you're a Coyotes fan, you're like, why are these guys always dogging on me? You know, we could take it a little easy, or we could go harder on your general manager. Whatever you want, don't matter. Me and Joe are going to keep it real, but obviously, like I said, if you have something you think you like that we do, or something you would like us to do, definitely let us know. And how can you do that? At Beak Brands on social media, or you can badger us on the website, or you can write a review on Apple Podcasts. All right, so there's a couple of different ways out there. But Joe, listen, I gotta say, first season, I know we kind of started, you know, 20 to 30 games in almost, but so like 75% of a season. Pretty good for the first one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd say it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to either doing another pod in like a week or so, or whenever the start of the season is. Listen, me and Joe have a lot of fun doing this. If you have fun listening, definitely let us know. But until then, our hockey might be on a little summer break, if you will. All right, so you will hear us soon. And for me and Joe, we're out of here.